Money, 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 money. Moneyball back in action after a week off over the 4th of July. This is, I believe, week 2 of the Moneyball season. Didn't see as much on the timeline last night, so I'm hoping that you and your very plugged in Michigan State sources can tell me what mattered at Moneyball last night. But I did read the Graham Couch article. Shout out to Couch. We love Graham Couch. He has been a supporter of mine through the past year or so, and really like him. I think he does a great job covering Michigan State, and he hit on all the big things from Moneyball last night in his mind. He had his 3 key takeaways for the Lansing State Journal, so go check that out. But we can speak to some of them here. I'll throw it to you first, though. What did you hear from Moneyball last night?
I heard that once again, Frankie Fidler is the best player at Moneyball. He's the best player last week, and he's been the best player this week so far. Shooting it from everywhere. I'm talking like step inside half court, basically knocking down shots. According to the official Moneyball like stats, which are never ever, I think, on par with what's going on, but he's the leading scorer. He's the leading shot maker, leading 3-point maker.
What are the numbers in scoring? Sorry, but
So I think it was, now it's different because not everyone's played the same games, but I think through 2 games, maybe 3 games, 2 games, I believe it is, Fiddler's averaging 37 points. And then second is Jay Nakeds, I believe, at 31. And third is, it's either Jace or Kurtang with just around 30.
okay.
Actually, sorry, no. I'm gonna find the actual tweet with the real numbers, but I believe the order is Fiddler 1, Akins 2, Cohen Carr 3, and then it's either Jace or Kurtang who are after that.
Okay.
But they might have played one less game.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I heard the freshmen have looked good. We've kind of already danced around this, but like Frankie Fidler is the best player in the gym. Is that good? Last week you said not good, and I said good. Would you still stand on that's not good for Michigan State if he's the best player on this team, clearly?
If I had my choice of who was the best player in the gym, Frankie wouldn't be the one I would pick. But with that said, also like it's definitely a good thing that he's showing the ability to be a high level scorer in this setting.
Do you take this like sometime, obviously it's a Moneyball setting, so we shouldn't over conclude anything from it. We know that from years of experience. But sometimes in that just like roll the ball out, see what you got thing, if one guy clearly looks ahead of everybody else, half the time to me it's because that guy's incredible, and half the time to me it's because everybody else isn't. It's usually one of those 2 things, and it's rarely in the middle of that. Do you take these reports more as Fiddler's incredible, or do you take these reports more as like all these other guys are who they've been and Fiddler looks a step ahead?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think given the Moneyball Pro-am rosters, it points to he's just better than the guys in the gym. He always would be. He would be if he wasn't on Michigan State.
That includes the Michigan State guys too?
No, I'm just saying, like, as far as like the competition they're going up against, because I would have to see if I can find some more, I guess, telling video. But the one that I did see, Fiddler was getting guarded by Michigan State guys, which
Yeah.
there's another discussion on what's going on defensively, but he was being guarded by Michigan State guys. But I think the Michigan State guys are just better than everybody else in the gym, obviously.
Okay.
But I think that gap in previous years and previous Moneyballs is a lot closer. I think it's far and few, like it's a very wide gap on this one. And usually
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah, I hear you there. Yeah, I want to see this for myself. I'm starting to think we need to take a trip to Moneyball because I do trust my eyes with body language PhD bullshit, you know?
I don't want to keep you out of there.
Maybe. If I were you, I think I would too. But
Yeah.
I completely buy that Frankie Fiddler is going to be really good for Michigan State. Like I'm in on that now. I think I was getting in on that before this stuff, and I'm certainly in on it now. I just think there's a big blurry gray area here of like, does he look this much ahead of everybody else? Because like Akins is still the role player type that he's been, a really good one, but like he's just still that? Is it because Jeremy Fears and Xavier Booker haven't taken huge leaps? Like, what's going on? And
Well, Fears hasn't played. I think he played one game.
he played one game, but yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I shouldn't have thrown Jeremy in that. I don't know. It's just like that's a question for me for sure. But shit, sounds like he's shooting the piss out of the ball. Jaden Akins had a quote, by the way. I laughed at this morning. I don't know if you've seen this, but I'll be excited to hear your thoughts on it. This is Jaden Akins last night. Quote, he's a traditional small forward, Akins said of Fiddler. It's good to have someone of that skill level to play that position.
You read that one more time for me?
He's a traditional small forward. It's good to have someone of that skill level to play that position.
Yeah, Jay. Yeah, Jay.
I mean, so that's Akins being very, very happy that he gets to play his natural position of shooting guard. It's also a miniature shot at like who the hell did we have on the last few rosters? Like,
I mean, it was him. He was the small forward though.
yeah, so it's a shot at himself.
Maybe, or shots at like someone not be able to step up and be the small. I don't know.
It is a strange one, but yeah, I think everybody's very happy about their intended roles here, and it sounds like Fiddler is like the 3 on this team, and you fit in everybody else around that. That does mean that only 2 of Akins, Holloman, Fears are going to start, and I'm not so positive Holloman won't be one of the 2.
What do you think is your Michigan State starting lineup as of Wednesday, July 10th?
Still, it's Fears, Akins, Fiddler, Fears, Akins, Fiddler, Booker. I'm a lock in Kohler. I still think he's the best big, but I won't be surprised. But I think there's a very high chance Holloman's better than one of those 2 names at the guard spot.
Yeah, we got to get out to Moneyball because I got to figure out who our starting big is. I'm
Fun.
gonna know through one game.
The only other thing that I heard last night from Moneyball, I don't know if you heard this as well, but Gehrig Norman looked really good.
Yeah, he did. He had a nice little 4-point play to basically win the game.
Yeah, big time.
Also, did you see that Xavier Booker's now 242 pounds?
I did. That actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I would have forgotten to do this. We were harsh on Xavier Booker. Were we too harsh a couple weeks ago when we did this? So that, like, we did this exact same Moneyball takeaways, and pretty much half the video was like Xavier Booker's dogging it. He didn't want to be there. Xavier Booker saw the video and left a long comment on the video explaining some reasons why it may have appeared he was dogging it, and like basically, y'all clowns don't know what you're talking about. Chill. Number 1, appreciate Xavier Booker paying attention and responding and letting us know what's up. But 2, in hindsight, do you think we were overly harsh?
I mean, I personally don't think we were overly harsh. Maybe we made a mistake in not knowing the full story. Like, obviously, we didn't know that there's an injury and things like that. Obviously, we weren't able to get up the Moneyball ourselves to see it. So we were just commenting on things that we've heard and, you know, some very short clips, very pointed clips, I think that we were able to see. And we commented based off what we saw. But, you know, I take pride in like calling it like it is. So like we'll be the first people to say that, you know, Booker looked better when he did play. From what I did hear, he actually was pretty productive when he was on the floor, which is good because I think that he should. Like the thing about it is, and this is not a Xavier Booker thing, I personally wanted to see something like him just having a good time, like having fun, like hooping and like you know, basically just having fun. And it looks like he's doing that a bit more in the clips that I'm seeing in the last couple of weeks. And who knows, maybe it's because he's healthier or whatnot, but it's good to see because I think a lot of our season is gonna ride on how good he is.
Yeah, let's be the people that do give credit where credit is due, because I have also heard what you've heard. Xavier Booker has looked a lot better since that first night that we talked about. So we can own that. I don't think we were wrong the night that we said this is what he looked like, but it sounds like he's looked completely different. It looked better and more engaged since then. In general, with life, man, people want to watch people enjoy what they're doing. You know, like people don't want to listen to us look like we're miserable. Sometimes people might tap in after a loss to see it, but like people don't want to listen to us 5 days a week if we're coming on here being like, it's the show again. Like, you want to see people enjoy what they're doing. And Xavier Booker is an incredible talent. People are paying to go out and see him. They want to see him put on a show and look like he's loving doing it. And it sounds like he's done that the last couple times. So again, Xavier, if you are hearing this one, we meant no disrespect. Appreciate your response to us. And truly, I'm hoping Xavier Booker has a great year as a rival fan because I'm a fan of his game. My last takeaway on Michigan State stuff, I'm starting to think the 3 spot's going to be a big strength for this team. And by 3, I mean like off-ball guard wing stuff. Like, I think Jace and Kurtang and Fiddler are all like good. And Norman too. Like, I came in looking at that as like the huge question mark on the team, but I'm starting to think like all 4 of those dudes, 1, can really shoot the ball, and 2, are gonna play. I don't know how, really, but I like
So I
it.
think my initial what to do in this one would be like, if all these guys are playing good enough, you got to find a way to get them on the floor, like whatever adjustment that might be.
We know the adjustment, right? It's the same thing we've been begging for years, though. We don't get it.
Yeah, I know, but like that would be it.
Book at the 5, Fiddler at the 4, Normand or Tang or Holloman or Jace Richardson at the 3, Akins at the 2, Fears at the 1.
Yeah.
Jeremy Fears surrounded by 4 shooters.
Yes.
Offensively, it'd be really fun. Is Fiddler big enough to do that at the 4, you think? He looks big in these.
He does. Also, do we care if he's big enough?
I guess not.
Yeah, like
Tom Izzo does.
Yeah, he does. He very much does.
Yeah, he does. Okay. All in all, stock up after recent Moneyball week 2.
Neutral stock. I'm gonna keep it neutral. I need this summer trip. Trip is gonna be massive.
That's coming. On a scale of Jackson Kohler 50-point games to Tum Tum Nairn 7 3-point games to Pierre Brooks 40-ball games, where is Frankie Fidler being the best player in the gym land?
It's above Kohler. It's above Tum. Might be below Pierre.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Car, you know what I love about you?
That I'm handsome?
You're reliable. I can count on you. You know, honestly, you remind me of Aaron Henry a little bit. Remember when, like, you know, their back was against the wall, nothing was going right, and man just showed up every day. He didn't make excuses. There were no problems. There were just solutions.
Sounds like me.
That's you. And it also reminds me of Duncan Mechanical Solutions, because if you're looking for quality furnace repair, look no further than the heating and air experts that you can trust. Comfort and quality are their standard. They're an HVAC company that serves Northeast Indiana and Southern Michigan, whether it's heating and air conditioning, plumbing, kitchen and bath remodeling, or emergency services when you need them most. Duncan Mechanical Solutions has reliable service that you can count on. Cart, remember when your basement almost exploded?
I remember when my basement almost exploded. I remember when my furnace itself was acting funny. I remember when my AC was acting funny. I wish I had Duncan in my back pocket. I wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been anywhere in Northern Indiana or Southern Michigan that hasn't been perfectly cool or perfectly warm, depending on when the day called for. And that's because of Duncan Mechanical Solutions. They are the presenting sponsor for the month of July. Shout out to Duncan Mechanical Solutions. Go to duncanmechanicalsolutions.com to learn more.